start? Nobody is here. Why you start when nobody is here? Just the jinn to listen?
There is jinn. Don't have.
Yes, yeah. Come.
No. You are
You see? What is your name? Huh? Saddam Hussein. Wow, big name. I'm scared. Sorry, huh? Just joking. Big name, huh? Big person. So, which surah you want to recite? Which surah? Which ayah? Medina. Okay, Medina. Điểm à, hỏi chả? Hay à, thằng thằng sĩ phản ứng đến mấy à? Mấy cái con, mấy anh thấy cái con á, sao vậy? Cái con này là phải thấy thấy được gì mà. Sẽ trở đi我啲仔女都唔係讀嗰啲學校，可以讀 international school 嘅。随便。 بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Welcome to this session. Before we begin, we will ask our young brother, Serzhan Hussein, to come to recite a few ayat. Please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والتين والزيتون وطور سينين وهذا البلد الأمين. لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون. وما يكذبك بعد بالدين أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين. صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you very much. Now today's topic, we are going to touch upon a story narrated in the Bible and the Quran. Actually, of course, usually when we talk about something from the Quran, mentioning about some of the early prophets, many of our friends would have a reaction. Wait, why the Quran mentioned this? Because it was narrated in the Bible earlier. So, does it mean that the Quran copied from the Bible? The Bible cannot copy from the Quran because the Bible comes first. For example, in the Old Testament, it was supposed to be 2,000 odd years before Jesus, or some maybe 1,000 or so. But definitely, it would be before Jesus. And the New Testament, maybe in the 1st century and early 2nd century. But when was the Quran written or revealed? It was 600 years after Jesus. So, therefore, the Bible cannot be copied from the Quran because at that time the Quran was not there. So, therefore, many people will jump to a conclusion that it must be, or that at least they put it in a very subtle way, is the substance from the Quran come from the Bible. But is it really true? Our position is yes and no. Yes is that because the source of the Bible and the source of the Quran come from the same. And therefore, that is why there are many things common. But different is, or we do not agree is, that the substance of the Quran or the content of the Quran come from the Bible. But of course, it is very difficult to convince people that it is not. Especially, we are living in the 21st century, 2,000 years after Jesus, and which is 1,400 years after Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Therefore, at that time when the book was revealed, you and me were not at the scene, so it is difficult to argue. So it's no point. But today we are not going to argue, but rather maybe just in general discussion about this. Sometimes you cannot have any fair conclusion. But we better go into a small detail, a small part of the Quran and the Bible which are correspondent, and then we'll see how they narrate, and then we come up with some kind of reasoning and see how it is. So I have given you, distributed to you as a few chapters from the Old Testament, Genesis chapter 6, 7, 8, and 9, which is narrating the story of Noah. And then I also distributed to you a few verses coming from 2 chapters. Actually, there are more, but I have selected from chapter Surah 11 and also Surah 71. And I want you to go over them very briefly. Maybe I give you 10 to 15 minutes to cover it so that we may come up with a kind of worksheet in which we want to compare. Therefore, you need not go into very minute detail, but rather you just browse through what are the topics that we want to cover. And then you go into the Bible, to look for the answer for him. And that is a more efficient way, and it will save the time. We are not going to every letter of it, but rather just these few points. Did God regretted after he created man, and the description of Noah, and why God made the flooded the earth, and so on and so forth. And then we can discuss. Okay. know it might be quite a lengthy stuff. You might not have been able to complete it. Maybe let's start and then you can finish it at home or for later. Okay? So actually, for the issue of the Ark of Noah, actually recently, especially in Hong Kong and many places, there is reported that the original ark, the ship, was discovered somewhere. And there are some report which is very confusing, saying that that is only a concocted story, etc. But no matter what, it become a hot issue, especially among the Christian community. And we have just asked you to try to make a comparison between the two, and in light of the modern knowledge, we will try to discuss. And briefly, I will just cover it, that for the cause of flood is that because after man was made, God feel regret that he had made man, because many people on earth were wicked, were doing bad things. Therefore, God feel uncomfortable and regretted, I shouldn't have created them. So I want to destroy them all. Not only man, but all the living things. This is in Genesis chapter 6. And then Noah, at that time, was the only just and perfect man in his generation. Means that on the earth, everyone is wicked, bad people. Even in their mind, all the time when they think they are dirty things. But except one man, no. He's a perfect man. And he was described as walking with God. 與神同行. Perfect. And we'll see. And then God asked him to make a sheep with wood, a certain kind of wood, and then bring on board his family and a pair of all kinds of living things with food. Not living things, but also their food. For one whole year, you will see. And you will find that in some places it said one pair. And then another places it say 7 pairs of clean and 1 pair of unclean animals. You will find that in different parts. You have 2 different versions of narration. And then it mentioned about the flood, cover all the hills and destroy all life on earth. Very specific. God wanted to destroy all the men, the people there, because they are wicked, and also all the living things on earth. And then the flood lasted for 5 whole months, and the ark stopped at a mountain called Ararat, right? I don't know pronounce it correctly. Hope it is like this. And then Noah sent a pigeon out. And then actually 2 times. The first time he come back. The second time with some leaves, and then the third time it do not come back again. And then the land is dry, so they know that the water has stopped, has abated, and then they get out of the ark, and his family survived. And it stayed there for one long years, if you count. And then, after doing all these kind of bloody thing, destroy all people on earth and all the animals, all the creatures, then God also regretted again. He made a covenant. I will not do this again. I promise. How? How do you promise? Okay, I will make a rainbow. The rainbow is the sign. Yes, what is that? You clarify that first before? Otherwise, you will not have time. Please, come. This is our Imam And last time there's a question which might need further explanation, and this is our Imam Mufti Ashab. He is our learned man, and last time there was a discussion in Islamic law about saying that if the people doing adultery, then if 4 witnesses, and it's very difficult to find 4 witnesses for someone to do this kind of dirty things. How can you have 4 people to witness that? So it means that they will not be punished. There was some kind of discussion like this. So Imam, we want to supplement this.
Thank you, Brother Yusuf. Who raised this question?
Maybe it's not this one.
Then we should postpone for the next week.
Brother, I also asked a similar question last
Yes,
time.
yes.
Because if you require 4 witnesses, that you cannot find people when you are having a adultery who can function. And it seems like the law is not valid. Nobody will be punished, and men and women will take advantage of this.
Very important question. Actually, there are 2 things. One is in Arabic terminology is called had, and the second terminology is called tazir. Had means the punishment that has been described in the Holy Book Quran by Allah. That cannot be changed by any person. The condition cannot be changed. Okay. So if the condition cannot be fulfilled, the punishment cannot be applied. Okay. Now the question is second, if someone is doing and he is getting the advantage of this condition, so what should be? So there are other means. If first the person is asked whether he has committed or not, if he refuses and woman cannot produce the witness, okay, so he will not be punished. But if someone accepts, but still there is no witness, he will be punished. If he accepted he has done, then he will be subject of the punishment.
Punishment will be the same.
Same, if he accepts.
Okay.
How he will accept? In today's terminology, in today's scenario, DNA test or medical test is proven, he cannot escape, so he will be the subject. Third thing, if he is not accepting, okay, and there is no witness, the had will not be applied, but there are some other evidence like medical test, like some other evidence, like 1 witness or 2 witness. So again, had will not be applied, but he will be subject of the other punishment that is called tazir, that is depend on the judge what kind of punishment he will give. He cannot be escaped totally. Only the had, the capital punishment for this, he may be saved from that, but the other tazir will be applied on that when the justice or judge realize that he has committed, so he will punish even more than this punishment or less than this punishment. That will be in the hand of judge.
Also in Islamic law, adultery is also a ground, one of the grounds for any divorce. For example, if the woman, she suspected the husband is having adultery, but she cannot produce witness, and the husband refused that she wants to get divorced, and if the other tests for other evidence, then in Islamic law, is this also a ground for
No, if the man is committing adultery, now woman will not be divorced.
She cannot request for it.
She can request. She can request. Suppose she wants to live with a person who is clean and who is pious. So she has the right. She can reject, but again she will apply to Islamic court for dissolving